YouTube, my name is Rachel Mayo. Welcome to my channel and thank you for being here. I'm going to be discussing how the entry of Jupiter into Pisces and how it's going to affect you according to your ascendant. To find out what your ascendant is, please go to astro.com to get your free natal birth chart so that you can find out where your ascendant is and the placements of your planets. Jupiter has a 12-year cycle, so it means the last time that it was in this sign, the sign of Pisces, was in 2010. Can you remember what was happening in your life in 2010? This same area in your chart is going to get triggered again. However, the circumstances are a little bit different this time. Something similar could happen simply because it's the same houses that are being activated. However, the aspects are totally different from what they were in 2010. So expect some major differences here. So what's different this time? Neptune has already been transiting Pisces for about a decade or so. So that's one major difference. Neptune is a co-ruler of the sign of Pisces. And Neptune has a 184-year cycle around the zodiac. This transit is monumental for all mankind. This is truly special. There could be miraculous healings, discoveries in medicine, discoveries in alternative therapies, alternative medicine. Something really special is going to happen for humanity to advance us as a collective. However, let's all keep in mind that this transit of Jupiter into Pisces is very, very brief. He's only going to stay in this sign for about 3 months. Jupiter will be traveling up to 2 degrees of Pisces. This is very important. So Jupiter will be fertilizing the ground with this transit. So whatever you plant at this time, expect to see it fully bloom by next year. That is when Jupiter will be fully transiting the sign of Pisces. Let's look at Jupiter's movements last year. Jupiter was transiting the sign of Aquarius. He doesn't really like to be in the sign of Aquarius because it's ruled by Saturn. And we all know Saturn represents restrictions, rules, and regulations. Let's not forget that Jupiter and Saturn did actually conjunct on the 20th of December 2020. This was another 20-year cycle which was initiated at this time. Jupiter transiting the sign of Aquarius with Saturn, its own ruler, present in the sign, made it very difficult for Jupiter to give us our blessings. So what you could have experienced was things came to you, but they came to you with restrictions and regulations and rules. So you didn't actually get to enjoy whatever was given to you. For example, you could have found the perfect job, and then for some reason something went wrong down the line and you ended up losing that job. Another example could be you could have met somebody who you thought, wow, this person could be the love of my life. And the relationship started and you were feeling very happy and grateful. And then all of a sudden something goes wrong and you end up breaking up. Those are the type of stories I've been hearing from most of my clients. So you're not alone if you felt that things were being taken away from you. Well, Jupiter is now free of Saturn. He's transiting in his own sign of Pisces, and his co-ruler Neptune is also there. So Jupiter is free to dole out whatever blessings and gifts that he's been storing for you. So be proactive. Jupiter is going to be moving very quickly and he's going to retrograde back into the sign of Aquarius. So take advantage of whatever opportunities that may come your way, because when Jupiter is in Aquarius, he's going to go back and be in Saturn's sign, and Saturn is there. So we are going to unfortunately go back to the restrictions, the rules, and regulations. Jupiter rules the 12th house of the zodiac, that is the Pisces house. He has been away for 12 years. So Jupiter is tired and he's excited to enter his home, and only to find out that his co-ruler is also present. This is true harmony. This is like you arrive home from a long journey. Your spouse has a bath running for you. She's prepared dinner and you're feeling so relieved to be finally home. In a sense, it's more like you've ended a big chapter in your life and you're ready to begin anew and start taking care of things in your own house. Jupiter is here to bless his own house with the help of Neptune. They're not conjuncting each other just yet. They're going to conjunct next year, I think on the 12th of April. That could be the point where you realize the fruits that you sowed at this time in this 3-month period. Whatever happens for you in the next 3 months is just a small taste of what Jupiter has in store for you next year. This summer is definitely going to be a lot better than what we experienced last year. But because of that, if you look at the astrology, it says Jupiter is going to retrograde into Saturn's sign. So we are going to go back to some form of restriction, limitations, and some change of rules from the government. So look at this period as your spring break. Just don't go too wild and crazy. So let's look at some of the positive things that Jupiter could bring in the sign of Pisces. The sign of Pisces rules the oceans, the seas, the unknown, belief in a higher being, spirituality, higher intuition, psychic ability. Unfortunately, it also rules escapism, the media, anything to do with theater, movies, music. Unfortunately, in the sign of Pisces, Jupiter also rules things like alcohol, drugs, addiction, escapism, and seeing things or situations through rose-colored glasses. So we're going to experience increased creativity. If you're an artist or a musician, this is a great time to compose music. This is a wonderful time for you to come up with a masterpiece. So we may notice that there's a major film release or some type of music is going to be released. Music that encourages peace and unity among people. Music that can touch your soul and encourage peace in the world. So what are the 5 things that you need to know about this transit? Number 1, try to avoid dating or judging people according to their potential. You have to see things realistically. See people as they are. Whatever they show you, whoever they tell you they are, is who they truly are, and treat them as such. So remove those rose-colored glasses. They're only going to make you very resentful once this transit is over, because once Jupiter retrogrades back into Aquarius, you're going to start seeing the person or the situation realistically. That's when the disappointments will set in, and you could face some restrictions. Number 2, if you have an addictive personality or you suffer from addiction, this is a time for you to make sure that you have some type of support system, because this transit is going to probably push you back into relapsing. Number 3, this one's very important. Watch your waistline. Jupiter tends to expand whatever it touches. So it's very likely that Jupiter will expand your appetite, and we all know what the end result of that is. It's very likely that you will gain weight during this transit. So it's best to implement some type of exercise regimen at this time, because instead of expanding your waistline, Jupiter can expand your muscles, and we all know if you have more muscle, you burn more fat. If you've been trying to get pregnant and you've had challenges, you are in luck. Jupiter is a very fertile sign in the sign of Pisces, and it rules over childbirth and children. So if you've been trying for a child, this is your time. You're going to be extra fertile for the next 3 months. So this is definitely time for you to try. On the other hand, if you're not trying to conceive at this time, please make sure to use protection, because you might have a surprise baby on the way. Number 5, this is divine and spiritual energy. So if you're into spirituality, religion, or whatever higher belief system that you have, this is a great time for prayer. Miracles are possible with this transit. Jupiter is here to deliver blessings. So if you believe and you're proactive, your dreams can come true. So what are the signs that are going to be affected the most? The water signs, of course. That is Cancer, Scorpio, and yes, Pisces. Water signs are going to be aspected by a trine. This is a very harmonious and positive energy. It's going to make the energy flow very easily between the houses. The only disadvantage to this energy is that it could make you become very complacent and lazy. Some will sit back and expect things to just come to them. So if you really want to see some positive results, it's time to get up and be proactive. The earth signs are also going to benefit from this energy, and they are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Jupiter will be aspecting your sign by a sextile. This is another harmonious aspect, although this aspect requires you to actually be proactive. If you do apply effort, you are going to see results. So this aspect is there for you to harness and do something with it. If you don't do anything with this energy, you're not going to see any results. A good example of a sextile aspect is you have all the ingredients to bake a lovely cake, and they're sitting there on the counter waiting for you to take action. Well, the cake is not going to bake itself. You have everything. So go ahead and start mixing. So go ahead and start mixing, start interacting, start taking advantage of opportunities that are presented to you. If you're new to my channel and have not yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, It's right below this video, the red button. It's not a commitment. If you're new to my channel and have not yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, It's right below this video, the red button. It's not a commitment. Aries, Ascendant, Sun, or Moon. This transit is happening in your 12th house. If you feel like you've inherited negative family karma, Jupiter is giving you an opportunity to clear this past life karma. So you may get help from the other side. Perhaps an ancestor will give you some kind of guidance and protection. When Jupiter transits the 12th house, it has a protective quality. It can help you to get out of really bad predicaments. It can protect you from your hidden enemies. It can also protect you from your own self-sabotaging habits. This type of protection or guidance could also come from a guru. Most people tend to meet a guru or some type of person who helps them through the 12th house, because the 12th house is a hidden house. This is a dark house. So that means we can't really see what's going on behind us. So our hidden enemies, so we become very vulnerable to our hidden enemies and other hidden forces. You could get psychic attacks. You could have very vivid dreams. Your psychic ability is enhanced at this time. The only way you can tell what's going on in the dark is through your intuition. So you have to trust your intuition. And if you're lucky enough to have a trusted person who's giving you guidance, take that guidance. This is the perfect time for you to heal your soul. Before Jupiter transits your first house, you will feel very empowered. You will have energy at your disposal. The energy will be in your hands. At this time, it's energy that you cannot access. This energy is only there to give you some type of relief. This energy at this time is just there to give you some type of relief, guidance, and protection. If you've been wanting to travel abroad, Jupiter in the 12th house for the next 3 months will give you this opportunity. So take advantage of this. Time. Go and apply for a visa. Go and see what's beyond your borders. So on the healing part, if you've been struggling with addiction, cheating, lying, other things that we do behind closed doors and we need help with, this is the perfect time for you to go and find this healing. It's a perfect time for you to check into rehab. Take advantage of this 3 months. You could achieve a lot. Taurus, Ascendant, Sun, or Moon. This transit is happening in your 11th house. This is a Jupiter house. Jupiter loves to transit this house. This is the house that rules over our hopes, dreams, and wishes. The 11th house is the house that rewards the hard work that we do in the 10th house. So this is where you get paid. This is where you get your windfalls. This is where you get really lucky. If you've been working really hard in your own business or at work and you haven't seen a promotion or a profit in your business, it's very likely that something really special happens in the next 3 months. Some of you could meet a benefactor. This is a great time to make friends that will help you achieve something in your life. Your relationship with your uncle or your siblings could also improve at this time. And if you've been trying to get into an elite group online or into a club, this is the time to put in your application. You could get approved or invited in the next 3 months. Taurus, this is time for you to get out there. Be social. Go out and meet people. You just never know who you're going to meet and how important they're going to become in your life for the next 12 years. Gemini, ascendant, sun, or moon. This transit is happening in your 10th house. This is a public house. It's an angle house. It is the MC. This is the highest point in the zodiac. And Jupiter expands whatever it touches. So Jupiter is going to be expanding your presence, your standing in society. And this could be through a promotion or some type of raise in your job. For others, it could just be, for other people could just have better relations at their place of work with their bosses, authority figures, or with the government. You're definitely going to see some type of increased job security at this time. If you've been wanting to start your own business, there is no better time than the next 3 months for you to make some initiations. Initiations that could lead to big profits next year. And if you've been out of work for a while, this is the perfect time for you to polish your resume. Get your resume out there. Start looking for employment. It's very likely that within this 3 months, you get offered a job that could last for the next 12 years. Gemini, this transit is epic. So get out there, be ambitious, make initiations, put yourself out there, be seen. Never know who you're going to meet or what could happen for you when you're out there in public. This is not time to sit on your couch and just watch telly. Get out there. Cancer, ascendant, sun, or moon. This transit is happening in your 9th house. This is a Jupiter house, the Sagittarian house. So Jupiter is very comfortable in this house, and he's here to give you blessings in this area. If you've been wanting to travel abroad and you are met with limitations and restrictions, this is a perfect time for you to go and apply for your visa. It's very likely that you get approved. If you've been living in a foreign country and you'd like to continue living there, this is the perfect time for you to apply for permanent residency or your citizenship. It's very likely that it will go very smoothly this time. If you're a student and you've been applying to colleges and you haven't been accepted, this is a perfect time for you to put in that application. It's very likely that you're going to get accepted. And for those who are authors, if you've written a book and you've been shopping around for a publisher and you've been meeting dead ends or roadblocks, this is the perfect time to go out there, put your book out there. You will find a publisher that is willing to work with you. Some of you may get deeper into your belief system, into religion or prayer. Some of you may have renewed faith at this time. If you're religious or you have a certain type of higher belief system, you're going to be very involved in it at this time. If you believe in prayer, there is no better transit for that. This is the time that your prayers may get answered. It's a time for miracles. Jupiter is trining Cancer during this transit. A trine aspect can make you become lazy because you expect things to just happen for you. So I'd suggest that you get up and be proactive by doing something, making initiations, taking advantage of opportunities that are presented to you. Leo, ascendant, sun, or moon. This transit is happening in your 8th house. The 8th house rules over things like loans, mortgages, inheritances, and earned money, other people's money. It also rules over deep, intimate relationships, and unfortunately, it also rules over death. So if you have any family members that have been struggling with illness or they're just getting old, this might be time for you to say goodbye. And for those who are lucky enough to be left an inheritance, this is the time that they're going to see that inheritance come through. For those who have been applying for a loan or a mortgage and met restrictions and limitations, this is the time that you're going to get approved. For those that have been dating for a long time, this is the time that you may decide to make the relationship much more meaningful and permanent. Some of you could decide to move in together at this time, and by doing so, you are going to combine resources. And if your sex life has been non-existent or just simply boring, then things are about to get hot and steamy in this area. You and your partner are in for some good times. Of course, if you have improved intimacy, so that means that you're having sex on the regular. And what does that come with? a possibility of pregnancy. So if you want to get pregnant, this is an excellent time for you to do so. On the other hand, if you're not looking to have a child at this time, please take precautions. On the negative side, of course, having a lot more intimacy in your life could leave you open to STIs. So please use protection or keep your intimacy limited to a trusted partner, one partner. If you've been unemployed for a while, this is the perfect time for you to look for a job in places like a mortuary, a funeral home, a bank, or if you want to become a stockbroker, this is the perfect time you could possibly find an opportunity. Virgo ascendant, sun or moon. This transit is going to be quite epic for you. The 7th house is an angle house. It is the descendant. This rules over a marriage, our committed relationships, and types of agreements in relationships. It also rules over business. So if you've been dating someone for a while, you're wondering when the perfect time to propose would be, this is it. So go ahead, buy that engagement ring, get married. This is a perfect transit, and the weather is going to be lovely and warm outside. So there isn't a better time to have a wedding. You've been wanting to get into business with a partner. It's an excellent time for you to come to some type. It's an excellent time for you to come to some type of agreement. Business is going to be booming for you at this time. The 7th house is the house of the other. So you are definitely going to get some type of interaction with customers and other people at this time. Great time to start your business. And for those people that have been single for a long time, this is a perfect time for you to get out there. It's very likely that you meet a soulmate at this time. And you could start a serious relationship that could possibly lead to marriage even as early as next year. So take advantage of this transit. Don't continue sitting at home and waiting for Prince Charming to knock on your door. Well, you never know. With this transit, he just might. But if I were you, I would be proactive. I would get out there and meet as many people and try and meet as many people as possible. And if you're not online, get on a dating website. It's very likely that you'll meet somebody special at this time. And for those people who have been miserable in their marriage or perhaps some other type of agreement, Jupiter is here to liberate you. So take advantage of this sign. So take advantage of this transit and liberate yourself. So it's a great time for you to dissolve a business agreement that has not been working out. It's a great time for you to go and ask. It's a great time for you to get a divorce. Jupiter in a female's chart rules over the husband. So if you're one of those people who is actually getting a divorce, don't be surprised if you suddenly meet somebody else who has marriage potential. So Jupiter is going to liberate you from your miserable marriage and produce a marriage partner. This is an excellent time for you to walk away from whatever has not been working. Because by holding on to that dysfunctional marriage or relationship, you're only blocking yourself from what Jupiter has for you in this transit. Libra ascendant, sun or moon. This transit is happening in your 6th house. The 6th house rules over things like what we do for work, our daily routine, our job, our co-workers, and our bosses. If you've been looking for employment and you've been met with restrictions and limitations and denials, this is the perfect time for you to get out there and look for employment. So get up, polish your resume, and start applying for jobs. Apply for as many positions as you can. It's very likely that you'll find gainful employment at this time. Don't be surprised if you get 2 job offers at this time. And for those that already have a job, if things haven't been going as you like in your work area, it's the time that you're going to see some improvement. This could come in form of a raise or a promotion. Other people could see improved relations with their co-workers or with their bosses, while others are going to see an increase in overtime. That means more money. That is a blessing. Jupiter in the 6th house can make you become very lazy, and it can also increase your appetite. And so don't be surprised if your waistline is expanding. Jupiter expands whatever it touches. So this is the perfect time for you to implement some type of workout regimen so that you don't end up gaining weight. If you exercise or perhaps you start lifting weights, Jupiter will expand your muscles, and we all know that muscle burns fat. It's time for you to start some type of daily exercise. It's the perfect time for you to start taking better care of yourself. Start eating a healthier diet. Implement some type of exercise routine. When you do these things, Jupiter is going to expand your good health. Jupiter expands whatever it touches. This is the perfect time for you to go and get your medical checkup so that everything is fine. Because as I keep reminding you, Jupiter expands whatever it touches. So if you have a tumor, a cyst, or some type of cancer, it's going to be expanded at this time. So catching these type of illnesses or growths in the early stage, it gives you a better chance at successful treatment. So go in and see your doctor. And for those that have been having some type of legal problems, this is an excellent time for you to find a lawyer and initiate a lawsuit. So this transit could be touching different things in your sign. So just make sure that everything is all right. You don't want any expansion of anything that's negative. And if you start good habits, those good habits are going to get expanded at this time. It's time to start taking care of yourself. Scorpio ascendant, sun or moon. This transit is happening in your 5th house. This is a Jupiter house. It's very happy transiting this house because this is the house of our earned karma, our past life karma. This is the house where we get rewarded. All the good deeds that you did in a past life are gifted back to you in this house. This is why this is the house of creativity, the house of talents. So all those people you see with remarkable talent, either in music, art, or in sports, they have been blessed because of the good deeds that they did in a past life. Jupiter transiting his sign of Pisces in the 5th house is a very fertile transit, and it's even much more fertile because his co-ruler Neptune is also transiting this house. So this is double luck. If you've been having problems getting pregnant, this is your time to begin whatever fertility treatments that can help you at this time. And for those, some of you could actually be lucky enough to have your miracle baby. It could just happen naturally. So get proactive, get busy, start doing what you have to in order to make this baby come to life. And for those who are not planning to extend their family or start one at all, then you have to be proactive. Make sure you're on birth control or you're using protection, because anything is possible with this transit. For those that have been single for a while and have had trouble finding someone special, this transit is going to probably bring you a soulmate. Get out there, start meeting people, be open to friendships, relationships. It's very likely that you meet somebody very special at this time and begin an epic romantic relationship that could possibly lead to something serious. Those who are highly talented have been working on a creative project. This is the perfect time for you to make this project make money for you. It's an excellent time for you to begin a small business. And for those that are artists, musicians, actors, performers, this is an excellent time for you to go out there and look for a gig, look for possibilities, look for opportunities. It's very likely that you find something that's going to advance you. It's very likely that you find something that's going to advance you in some type of way. So just keep in mind that your creativity and your luck is going to be increased for the next 3 months. So find your muse, get creative. And if you're one of those people who like to gamble, this is an excellent time for you to go to the casino and try your hand, or buy a couple of lottery tickets. You just never know what could happen. Just don't bet the farm. For those that have children, this is an excellent time for you to spend time with your children. Have fun with your children. Go to water parks. Go on a vacation. Make this summer meaningful for your children. It will be meaningful for you too, because you will have fun with them. So creativity is highlighted. Potential for miracles is highlighted. Great luck is also highlighted. What are you still doing sitting on your couch? Get up, get out, go and do something. Make something happen. Make something special happen for you. You deserve it. Sagittarius, ascendant, sun or moon. This transit is happening in your fourth house. The fourth house is the IC. This is the bottom of the chart. It's a very personal angle. The fourth house rules over things like our home, our mother, our ancestors, and our deep hidden emotions. Have you been out there looking for that dream home? Have you been met with restrictions and rejections? Well, that's all about to change. This transit is going to enable you to find that dream home. And it will have all the unique touches that you're looking for. So be proactive, get out there and start searching. It's very likely that you'll find this house within the next 3 months. For those of you that have been wanting to move houses, this is an excellent time for you to make that move. And for others who are not looking to buy but are looking to move, this is an excellent time for you to find your next home. And since Jupiter expands whatever it touches, it's very likely that your next home is going to be bigger and much more comfortable than the one you're in. It's very likely in the next 3 months that some of you welcome new family members into your home. It could be that you decide to move your aging parents into your home, so therefore there will be more people in your house. People could welcome a new family member through a birth. So if you've been wanting to get pregnant or adopt a child, this is the perfect time to add to your family. Some of you could have recently lost your job and you're unable to continue paying your bills. This is the perfect time to move in with your parents as well. And for some of you that have been wanting to live abroad, this is the perfect time for you to make a home in a foreign country. If you've been having problems in your home area, perhaps things have broken down in your house, or you have problems with your family members, Jupiter is only going to expand those problems. So if I were you, I would make an effort to resolve ongoing problems in the family. It's also a perfect time to fix or repair anything that has been broken down in the home. Overall, this is an excellent transit. Jupiter rules your sign, so it could expand your happiness within your family and in your home area. So take advantage of whatever opportunities that may be presented to you at this time. Capricorn, Ascendant, Sun, or Moon. This transit is happening in your third house. The third house rules over our immediate environment, our siblings, our neighbors. It also rules over communication. So it rules over our gadgets like computers, our phones. It also rules our vehicles. Jupiter is going to expand or increase your short distance travel. Some of you will be lucky enough to find a job within your neighborhood or your community, and therefore you start commuting back and forth to work. And it's short distance. Well, others could start a new job like with Uber, or you could start working with Dash, the food delivery company. Jupiter is going to increase your communication. So it's a perfect time to speak up. Public speaking is favored at this time. If you've been wanting to start your own YouTube channel, this is a perfect transit for you to make this happen. Other people who've been wanting to write a book, this is a perfect time for you to start writing because you're going to have a lot to say. So put it in words, put it out there, let people hear what you have to say. It's also a perfect time for you to learn a new language that could help you make money. Perhaps you could become an interpreter. It's also a great time to learn a new skill. Maybe it's time for you to go to that trade school that you've been thinking about. For others who've been having problems with their siblings or with their neighbors, this is an excellent time for you to try and talk about these issues, resolve the issues. Jupiter will bring improved relationships here. If you don't do anything to resolve these problems, Jupiter is just going to come in and expand your problems with your siblings and your neighbors. And I'm sure you don't want that. So be proactive and make the first move. This is the house of applied effort. Do something. Aquarius, Ascendant, Sun, or Moon. This transit is happening in your second house. The second house rules over things that we love and value, like our family and money. So it is the house of our earned income. It also rules over our self-esteem. And keep in mind that the family of the second house is the family that you choose, the family that you make with a partner or your husband, or friends that you've known for a long time. They become like family to you. Jupiter likes to give blessings in this house, so it's very likely that you have increased income at this time. This could happen through you signing a very important big contract or finding a new job. Those people that have been feeling undervalued or unappreciated at their job or business, it's a great time for you to ask for a promotion. It's very likely that you get it at this time. And for those that have their own businesses, it's a wonderful time for you to increase your prices, get your money's worth. You offer good services. Your clients are going to be more than happy to pay you a little extra for those services. So go ahead and raise your prices, raise your value. Your self-esteem is going to get a boost from this. Everybody wants to make more money. Since Jupiter is here to expand whatever is going on in this house, if things have been going very well with your family members or your close-knit friends, things are just going to get better and you will be happier for it. But if things have not been going well in this area, Jupiter is also going to expand that. So just make sure to compromise or find resolutions with whatever is not working out with your close friends and family. Jupiter also rules the mouth. It rules whatever goes into the mouth and out of the mouth. So it rules your speech. Make sure that whatever you're saying is sweet, healing, and comforting. Your words are going to have a huge impact during this transit. And since we're still talking about the mouth, watch what you put into your mouth. Jupiter could expand your appetite during this transit and you could end up gaining a lot of weight. So start watching what you eat. Start exercising so that Jupiter can expand your muscles instead. And we all know that muscles burn fat. Aquarius, this is a great transit for you. You're going to experience a lot of growth in the next 3 months. So make sure you initiate something that's truly meaningful. Initiate that business, sign that contract, go out there and look for opportunities. You have to be proactive at this time to get the most benefit out of this short transit. So go out there, be out there and look for opportunities. Pisces, ascendant, sun or moon. Wow, Pisces, this is an excellent transit for you. Jupiter has returned home after a 12-year absence. There's no better transit than when Jupiter conjuncts your ascendant. This is a very positive and happy time. This transit is actually double special for you, Pisces. Jupiter is back home in your sign after 12 years, and Neptune has already been transiting your sign for at least 10 years, and he's been away for 184 years. This is monumental. This is a once-in-a-lifetime transit. Your two ruling planets conjunct in your sign. It's a once-in-a-lifetime transit. The ascendant is an angle house. This is very personal because this is you and how others see you, how others judge you. When the ascendant is activated, it pretty much activates all the other angles. So you are going to see changes. Whatever you decide to change at this time is going to affect your MC. That is your standing in society. That is your job, your bosses, authority figures, and the government. It is the ascendant the ascendant opposes the descendant. That is your marriage, your partnerships, and other types of agreements. It is also the area of business. This is where you interact with another person. This is the house of the other. However, the power is with you. So you will be the one who is dictating what happens here. It's also going to activate your IC, that's your home area, your family, your mother, your ancestors. So everything can change and you have the power to make it happen. So it's time for you to change how others see you. If you want to change your name, this is an excellent time. If you want to change your name or title, this is an excellent time. If you want to change your appearance in some way, perhaps some type of cosmetic surgery, or just simply a makeover, a total makeover. Change your hair color. You could cut your hair. You could add extensions to your hair. Excellent time for you to change your entire wardrobe. So go ahead and do a total makeover of your identity. biggest negative with Jupiter transiting your ascendant is it expands everything. So essentially that means it's going to expand you. It's very likely that your appetite increases at this time and your waistline expands. So be aware that the likelihood of this happening is very high. So this is the best time for you to start eating better. Join a gym, have a better daily routine, start taking care of yourself, exercise, choose healthier food. Perhaps it's time for you to start lifting weights. If you do that, Jupiter is going to expand your muscles instead, and muscles burn fat. So just be very aware of this negative possibility. Another way to allow this energy in through natural expansion is by getting pregnant. So if you've been wanting to have a child or expand your family, this is an excellent way for Jupiter to expand your waistline. At least you have a reward at the end of it. If you're one of those Pisces that has been more concerned with taking care of others and just simply worrying more about others than yourself, this is the perfect time to make it about you. It's time to do things that are truly meaningful to you. It's time for you to express yourself in the way that you want to the world. It's time for you to be seen as you want to be seen. Not the time to hide in the background. This is the time for you to get out and present yourself to the world. You just never know what could come your way. You have to be out there. Enjoy this transit, Pisces. It's a once in a lifetime transit, and it's going to give you its full rewards next year when Jupiter is going to stay in your sign for a longer time.